Okay, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to do a martingale. Now, basically, it's a breast collar, a breast strap until you put the connection between the bridle and the breast strap. But I call it a martingale because it's that front rigging that keeps the saddle from going backwards. Okay. Now, some of you guys have asked about what's this piece for? And this is going to be your martingale center. All right, so that came from the English saddle pattern that most of you have purchased now. And I've already did edge coat on it because I, of course, used something that needed edge coat. For the center of that, you're going to need, this is a 7mm jump ring. Probably do a 6, but a 7 will fit in there pretty good. Also, you're going to need, here we go, you're also going to need 2 6mm jump rings, and these go up by the saddle. You'll need a hook, that's for your girth hook. You'll need 2 16th inch buckles for your tug straps, and then 3 buckles for whatever width leather lace you're going to use for the martingale. I'm going to use 3 32nds. Okay, so I've already prepped all of my hardware, and I've skived my leather. And if you don't know what skiving is, watch my other videos, because I just don't want to go through it here again. I have a cheat sheet for my, it's laminated, right? So I have a cheat sheet, and that helps me get, you know, the same, fits most traditional size models. It's not going to fit your draft horses, and it's not going to fit your ponies, but it will fit the most standard size models. Okay, here's I'm not going to get a copy of this. I'm going to give you measurements. So basically what we have, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take for the it's the shoulder strap that goes over the horse's shoulder. I'm going to use larger. I'm going to use 1/8 inch just to give some dynamics to the setup. So usually just a little piece here, and then we'll measure that so you know what that measurement is. Let's see, here's my ruler. So for that, it's going to be, that's 1.5 inches. Okay, so with that 1.5 inches, we're going to go ahead and glue on our 2 6mm jump rings on either side. Okay, that's, and I always like to get the hardware onto leather as quickly as possible so it doesn't get lost in my carpet. And the fold over is going to be about 1/4 inch. If you guys don't know, I use tacky glue, Aleene's tacky glue. There's also other white glues out there that'll work. There's one made specifically for leather that I like very much, but it's like 3 times the price of the Aleene's. So just want something that doesn't have too much moisture. Some people are successful with Elmer's, but I just think it's got way too much water in it. All right. And then we'll do the other side. And we can put that aside. Now the next thing that we're going to need, see, I went over a little bit. I'm going to trim that. I don't know if you can see that, but I kind of have an overlap here, so I'm going to just trim that off. There. It's not so obvious. All right. Okay, and then we want to come from the shoulder ring to buckle into the buckle. And you can do a match this way if you want. It's another way to do it. All right, and those are 3 inches long. And then those are going to go into the rings. Okay, Since these are going to show, let's go ahead and put a little point on them, and you can do whatever finish point you want. This one just taking a little nib off of either side gives it a nice finished edge, which it just looks better than that. So sometimes it's little details that make the difference, right? Okay. So the next thing I want to do is the buckle straps. And I actually marked it for T2, isn't that nice? Okay, so we're going to do 2 of these buckle straps. And these are the ones that actually have the buckle. And then you can measure them to each other if you want. Oh, a little lumpy there. Sorry, we can deal with it. So I've got 2 buckle straps, and these 2 buckle straps are going to be, let's see, that's 2 1/4. So 2 1/4 long. I apologize, my ruler's for quilting, so it's see-through. So we're going to take 2 of our buckles and put them like that. Remember, it's over the center bar. So I haven't been around for a while, so I've had really busy last 3 months, so I apologize. I was trying to at least do 1 or 2 a month and didn't get my goal, but it's a new year. I got a little extra time right now, so I'm going to try and get 1 or 2 videos done, hopefully. All right, now we're going to go ahead and buckle. And again, because you want it to face downward. You don't want it to go towards the saddle. You want it away from the saddle. And you're going to have a little bit of an overlap because we're going to want to put a keeper on there. All right. And then we'll go ahead and buckle the other side as well. Now, if you're going to adjust anything, I would adjust the length of this because you can always cut it shorter. But you can also measure it to your model if you want to see how close you are. Sometimes I way overdo it and I have the overlap all the way down. It's kind of a waste of leather. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is these 2 pieces go onto our centerpiece here. And this makes the V of our martingale, or of our breast strap, or yeah, whatever. Let's try to think I got the terminology down, and then somebody's got alternative terminology. Rose by any other name. Yeah. Okay. I was trying to make sure I don't use up too much of my length in the overlap. And just different types of leathers would set up faster. This particular leather, it's about 5 seconds. That's how long it takes. Okay, so it's starting to take shape, isn't it? Our next step is going to be the strap that goes between the legs to the girth. And so we're going to do that. And then is. Okay, so that's about 3.5 inches. And this one, we'll go ahead and glue to the center. Okay, so now we're going to take our center piece here. We're going to put glue down the right side center front, and then we'll set that ring where it's supposed to be. So right side center front, and then trick is put your ring in place where you want it. Yes, the ring is centered, and then go ahead and lay your strap down. Fingernails are awesome. All right, so now we have the protection, so you don't have metal up against the horse. There's not going to be any likelihood of pinching, so that's a comfort feature for your animal. All right, the next thing we're going to need is to be able to attach this to our girth ring. So I'm going to need a buckle strap, and the buckle strap is not very long. I think that's probably an inch, maybe an inch, half an inch. It's not very long. So feel free to make a cheat card. It's a lot easier than trying to measure to a ruler. At least I think it is, especially if I'm on the go. Sometimes I'll take this to work. Not lately, been really busy. Okay, so that's about an inch. And what we need then, of course, is a buckle on one side. So this is our third buckle. And the other side we need a hook. Now, I just noticed this hook is going to be turned in the wrong direction, so I'm going to fix that by adding another jump ring. I'm going to add a tiny one, probably about a 5mm. Let's see what I got here. My 5s. Oh, this is my container for, got that at Walmart years ago. And, oh, 5s. What do I want? Supposed to be 5s in here. Oh, that's a good one. It's too big, but that's a good one. Nice O-ring. All right, there's one right there. I'll use that. See, it says 5mm, but I think this is just like ended up being a junk drawer. I need to open that first. Sorry. I don't know where the opening is. There we go. So I'll do the open. Put my hook in there. This will turn it in the right direction, so it'll look better on the model. Won't draw attention to itself. All right, so now I'm going to put the lace through the jump ring and fold that over. And it's going to be a snug fit. You notice this is a really tiny strap, and that's because I don't want the buckle to show. So I'd much rather have a longer chest strap than a buckle strap. You notice the hook is downwards, and so once it's hooked to the ring on the girth, it's going to be harder for it to undo than if it's this way, and then it can just bump forward and slip off. So we want something that bumps forward, it stays hooked. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that on. Oh, let's go ahead and fix my tip here. Make it easier to. This one will be shown, so you don't really need the finished tip. You could just do a regular angle, but it's just easier to buckle if you have a bit of a point on it. All right, now we have to do the tugs. Excuse me. Need to do the tugs. Let me some glue there. I need to pull off. There we go. All right, so now we need to do the tugs that go to the saddle. And for that, I'm going to use my teeny tiny. This is my my 16th inch leather lace. It's pre-skived. Okay, and I need 2 tugs. And so I have on here small buckle connector strap. It's a tug. So that's one. And 2. And we'll go ahead and put on our, oh yeah, you want to know how long that is, so let's see. To get length on that. So that's 2 1/4. Okay. Sorry about the glare from my lights. So we're doing all this up close and personal stuff. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Maybe I should get a microscope camera. Get real good details. All right, so as you see, my tray is empty. All right, so now we can complete this by doing, we need to make keepers. And I make my keepers out of 16th inch. And so we'll do, I'll do one, and then I'm not going to make you watch me do all of them because it's kind of boring, but we'll do one on either one of these. Right, so one there, and that'll help keep it straight. We want to do one down here, mostly for just in case you have an unruly piece and it wants to lay down like that. You know, you don't want that hanging down. It's bad for a live show or a photo show. You don't want, you know, that to happen. So it's just a little long there. And then I'll do the tugs. I need 2. I like to do, well, we'll just do one. These are short enough. We'll do one. And that just basically holds all 3 pieces together once we get that on. So I will show you one. And you can do these any way you want, but I like to hold it like this. Figure out how far over, you know, that's going to be. Like that. Oh, didn't know I still had caulk on my finger. Yes, I do things other than tack. This is my hobby. I was doing some home repair, so. Right. And once I got that down, a little blob on the top. And when I fold this over, I don't want to fold it tight, okay? And because I want to be able to slip this in and out. So I'm just going to go like that. And we snip that off. And that's a keeper. I think there's a pun in there somewhere. So that's your keeper. And I'll go ahead and finish the rest of them and be back. Okay, so for these tug straps, I have to get all 3 to fit in there. So I go ahead and do a triple fold to make sure that I'm going to get these the right width. I don't want them to be too tight, and they're going to be sliding instead of fixed. So what I'll do is I'm going to hold this over where I want that fold to be, and then I'm going to put a little dab of glue right about there, and I'm going to fold it over on top. And I don't want it to be tight because I need to be able to slide the leather in and out for adjustments. Okay. Then once it sets, I'll go ahead and trim it, and then this will slide. Notice how it will move now, so I can put it where I want it to be. Now I'll go ahead and do the other one. Be right back. Okay, and when it comes to putting these tug straps on, now I prefer to have the extra pointing towards the ring. Some people have it pointing towards the saddle. I'm not sure what we'd have to look at different magazines. You just want it to be unobtrusive. You don't want to have too much. So I guess if it's pointing towards the saddle, you could always hide the extra under the flaps. But I prefer to have it pointing forward, and usually to not extend past the ring. But this length is going to be for your saddle, so it may depend upon the animal, right? So these tug straps go right into these D-rings. And so like I said, if it's pointing the other way, you could probably tuck any extra under the flap here, but I much prefer it going forward. Okay, so that's pretty much our finished, it really is our finished product here. And then the next step would be whatever attachment you're going to do for the running part of your running martingale. And I'm going to show a bib style. You could do strap, but I'm going to show a bib style. I will, of course, show you how to connect these so that you'll see on your saddle. It should go into the D and then into your buckle. Might need my tiny fingers here. These are my tiny fingers come in handy. And what I mean by tiny fingers, I mean these. See, like tiny fingers right in there. And so the tug is on the two-piece, or the keeper's on the 2, and slip that into the D, and then buckle. Yeah, and this is, we're having a little point. And I'm not going to do a finished point because these are so small. I want an actual working point that make it a lot easier for me to slip this into this. Especially, I mean, once it's put together, you probably won't mess with this too much, but just in case. It's just easier, and it also looks better if you have a finished point rather than a blunt end. Just even subconsciously that it looks better, so go ahead and put that on there. Just be very careful that only clip what I want to clip. There we go. All right, so there's your breastplate. That's all ready for a running attachment. Yep.